All right, hello everyone, this is Mr. Underkoffler, and I'm just going to make this video just to kind of quickly guide you through how to do graphing problems on Reveal. All right, so first of all, we should be at the correct assignment. We do not want to be clicking on the link that is called Review on Transformations Worksheet Graphing Problems, because those are the two graphing problems on the actual review worksheet. You will eventually do those problems on your own. What I want to do is lead you through some practice problems. So you want the assignment called, and by the way, if you haven't clicked and logged in to the Reveal portal yet, please make sure you do that. If you have to hit pause and get there, please make sure you do that, McGraw Hill, and then Reveal. Okay, so you're clicking on the link called Graphing Transformations Practice. Okay, and then after it is loaded up, it should look something like this. It says there's 5 questions. It says 10 possible points. Don't worry about the points. If you read the instructions here, this online assignment does not count as a grade. It's just meant to give you some practice problems. You can actually check your answer up to 3 times per problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. I'm going to do the first couple problems with you. You're going to try the rest on your own. Okay, problem number 1. 2 parts here. We got the graph of triangle ABC. Actually, we don't have it, but it says the graph of it would have these coordinates, A, B, and C. And then it says part A. We're going to graph triangle ABC and its image after a translation 4 units right and 1 unit up. Okay, so notice this said to graph the original triangle and then also its image. We're actually going to have 2 different triangles. So to get started, let's go ahead and figure out where -3 and -1 would be. So 3 to the left and 1 down. Now, if you accidentally put that first dot at the wrong place, you'll notice the clear button and the undo button, they're not working. That's because this is a specific line segment graph setup that Reveal has made. So you can't undo or clear until you've actually created your first line segment. So let's go ahead and graph point B, -4, -4. Now you can see it's actually connected the dots for us. If I wanted to now undo or clear, if I accidentally graphed one of these points at the wrong place, now I could actually do that. So undo undoes the very last thing you just did. Clear will actually just clear the entire graph and starting totally from scratch. So choose whichever one you need if you make a mistake. Finally, we got C, which is -1 and -2. So 1 left and 2 down. Now, notice it's not made the line segment for me yet because it always requires you to graph 2 points. Now, I already have all the points I want. So once I put -1, -2, point C where it belongs, I'm just going to connect it to either of these dots. It doesn't really matter which one. Boom. There I went and connected it to point B. Now, I still need the other line segment to complete the triangle. So I'm just going to click on the 2 dots. That would make that line segment. Even though I already graphed those 2 dots, I'm going to click them again. See how it kind of made it a little bit gray? And then click this one, and boom. Now I got my triangle ABC. Unfortunately, there's no way to actually label the points A, B, and C, which is kind of a bummer, but that's just the way it is. Now, we are asked to graph the image after a translation 4 units right and 1 unit up. You have 2 choices. You can actually, on scratch paper, add by 4 to all of the x's, because 4 units right means +4, and you could add by 1, because 1 unit up means +1, to all of the y coordinates, and then rewrite those new coordinates, and then you would actually already have the answers for part B, which would kind of be nice. Or you can just do what I'm about to do and count 4 spaces right and 1 unit up from each of the 3 dots that I already made. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. 4 units right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 unit up. Boom. Puts my point A prime at this location right here, 1, 0. And if I would have added 4 to -3, I would have got 1. If I would have added 1 to -1, I would have got 0. And there you go. There's point A prime. Now, if you want to go ahead and start putting this in, you may. That was 1 and 0 for point A prime. Now, what about B prime? used to be down here. I'm going to go 4 to the right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 puts me at the y-axis, and then 1 up, and boom. There you go. And it went ahead and made that line segment for me. It should be the same type of line segment as I had before, because remember with the translation, the orientation of the image is the same as the original. So you might recall this was from here to here. From B to A was 1 right and 1, 2, 3 up. Let's see, is that still true? 1 right, 1, 2, 3 up. Yep, I'm good to go. Now let's do C. Oh, I can go ahead and write those coordinates if you want. That was 0, -3. Okay, for B prime. And then finally, for point C, we're going to take, that was right here. This was point C, -1, -2. We're going to go 4 to the right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 up. And, oh, I have to connect that dot to somebody. I'll go ahead and connect it to this guy. And then I need to connect that dot to this one here as well. Do these triangles look exactly the same? Yes, they do. That's good, because they should. If they don't look exactly the same after a translation, then you have an issue. Okay. What was those coordinates that I just made for C prime? That's now 3 to the right and 1 down from the origin. That's 3, -1. And if I would have added 4 on scratch paper to -1, I would have got 3. And if I would have added 1 to -2, I would have got -1, which is what my coordinates here are. So let's go ahead and write that down. 3, -1. And I'm going to check my answer. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. And let's see. Yay, I got them both right. Now, obviously, if one of the parts were wrong, it'll show you which part was wrong, whether it was part A or part B. It kind of makes sense that if your part A is wrong, your part B will probably also be wrong, unless you were on scratch paper adding by the +4 and the +1 for the translation as an ordered pair. Then you might have actually had part B correct, but maybe you plotted a point wrong in part A, and then you would have to go ahead and make those changes. So, number 1, for me, is good to go. If yours is not good, then please hit pause, figure out where you messed up, and fix it. Check your answer again, and then once you have it right, move on. I'm going to go ahead and move on right now. All right, question number 2. Now, these are not all going to be translations. Some of these are going to be reflections, and I think I even have, if I remember correctly, I actually have a rotation somewhere on these as well. All right, so what is this one? We got graph ABC again. We're being very predictable here with our letters, at least for the first 2 problems. Part A, graph ABC and its image after a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph ABC. So we got -3 and +4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, there's my A. B is 1, 4, so right 1, up 4, 2, 3, 4, and yes, they should be at the same height, because -3, 4, +1, 4. Okay, that's good. And then we got C is 3, 1, so right 3, up 1. And I need to connect that dot to this guy. I also need to connect this dot to A. And there is my triangle for the original figure ABC. Okay, I need to reflect this over the x-axis. Now, again, you have a choice. On scratch paper, you could realize that if you reflect it over the x-axis, everything's now going to be below the x-axis, which means the y-coordinates will change, but the x-coordinates will stay the same. So instead of -3 and +4, that would be -3 and -4. And then you could actually go ahead and graph that. 2, 3, 4, and boom. Or some kids will just count how far up it is from the x-axis, and then they'll go down that many. So point B was 4 spaces up, so I'm now going to go 4 spaces down, but still at the same x direction, a +1, 1 to the right, and boom. And you can see that line segment going across. That was 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces long, is still 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces long. That's good. And then instead of going 3 right and 1 up, I'm going to go 3 right and 1 down, and I'm going to connect that dot. I'm also going to connect it to my first dot on the left. And I should not forget to write these coordinates here. So let's see. Don't lose track of which letter was which. B was 1, 4. So now B prime was 1, negative 4. So I'll type that in. And finally, C was 3, positive 1. Now C prime is 3, negative 1. So I'll go ahead and type that in. And if you need to hit pause to double check you got this right, feel free to. They look like they're reflections of each other, and I'm double checking, did I reflect it over the correct thing? X-axis, yes, I did. Always good to double check these things. And then I will check my answer. Hopefully I didn't mess up. Oh, I'm good to go. Yay. If yours is not good to go, again, is it saying part A is right, but part B is wrong? Is it saying part B is right, but part A is wrong? Are they saying they're both wrong? Whatever, check, fix your mistakes, and then move on once you're ready. All right, I want you to try 3, 4, and 5 on your own, and I'm not even going to put them on this video because you have the ability to check your own answers, and after 3 tries, if you still don't have it right, it will show you exactly which dots you graphed correctly and which dots you did not. Green check marks for the correct ones, and then I think it's red X's for the wrong ones. For part B, if any of them is wrong, they'll show you which ones are right, which ones are wrong. So you will have the ability to check those on your own. All right, so this concludes this video. You're going to do number 3 on your own, which is a translation. Number 4, I believe, is a reflection, if I remember correctly. Waiting for it to load here on my screen. Think. Yes, reflection over the y-axis this time. Oh, and that was a quadrilateral instead of a triangle. And then B, or sorry, not B, 5 is a, 180 degree clockwise rotation. Oh, it says about vertex Z. So careful, it's not about the origin. It's about vertex Z. So that's a little bit trickier. But the nice thing about 180 rotations is that instead of going up, you'll go down. Instead of going right, you'll go left. So that's the nice thing about 180. You'll just go complete opposite directions for both the right and the left and the up and down. So that's kind of nice. So not about the origin for number 5. It's about vertex Z. All right, try them on your own. Check your answers. Hopefully you'll do fine. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time.